are we addressing? Why are we making these? Right, to take care of the mosquitoes. And why is it important to take care of mosquitoes?
Those are annoying.
And,
They carry diseases.
okay, what kind of diseases are in our area from mosquitoes? Which one affects dogs?
Heartworm.
Good. Horses? Yes, the equine encephalitis. People?
Yellow fever? No.
West Nile and Zika, okay? Plus other things. And then our mosquito populations are very, very high because of the saturation from the hurricane, which has gone down. But we also did not have a real winter this winter until this coming Thursday. And so they never froze out. The little eggs and mosquito things are still hanging around. Some mosquitoes are out and about. How do they deal with mosquitoes currently in our area?
Pesticides.
Yes, pesticides and insecticides. And they spray from the trucks. And what are the negative effects on the environment by that spray?
It kills
Yeah, because it kills birds and it kills what other insect that we really depend upon?
bees.
Yes, bees. Traditionally, how did they take care of them? We talked about a couple different things.
Swallow.
Yes, to have the nesting birds that will feed on the mosquitoes. And we talked briefly about natural repellents, different things that people did, and wearing bug suits. But basically, we're gonna focus on the birds. And why do we need to reestablish the colonies? What do the birds depend upon in order to live here?
Man-made
Yes, man-made nests, good. And then I'll answer the last question because it's redundant. How does what we are making impact both the need and the effort to reestablish nesting colonies? If we build a birdhouse, we'll end up with that eat. Win-win. Okay, flip Danny, please. All right. So your studio prompt, and you can write this down. It's going to be on classroom 2 if you don't want to write right now. That's fine. And don't get overwhelmed because there's a process to it and you have time. You're creating a series of gourd bird houses that are functional for cavity nesting birds such as purple martin. We're not just making them for purple martins, we're gonna make them for birds, smaller cavity birds too, because the best way to control mosquitoes is to have a series of different levels. Because the martins are up here, they're some of the tall birds, and then when you get down to the other swallows and the chickadees are down here, and then the little tiny wrens are down at the bottom. So wherever those mosquitoes choose to fly, and the other bugs that bite, you've got a bird that wants them for lunch. Or actually not lunch, but dinner or breakfast. It's part of a community service project, so you are required to make multiples. You're gonna make 4. Okay? Don't get overwhelmed though, because they're not all going to look like that. This is an example of one that I made. I did not bring it in because it got dropped by Mr. King and cracked along the bottom. Yeah. So it's kind of fragile, but I always really liked it. But there's a picture of it. Okay. Ready? Alright. So we're going to talk about gourds for a second. Gourds are plants that are related to pumpkin, squash, cucumbers, etc. Does anybody have any gourds growing or have grown gourds before? Lee has. Yay. Were you successful? Did you get gourds?
Yeah.
Did you get a lot? Yes. Because once you start growing them, they take over and they go everywhere. They grow on vines, and the vines actually not only grow out across the field, but they grow up. So if it's planted near a tree, it will go up the tree. If it's next to your house, it's going to go all over your house. So you have to be aware of where things get planted. Once they're on the vine, and they look like this. This is a long neck board. They dry all fall and winter because screen board is really heavy, full of water, and then while they're drying, they get light, tan, and usually covered in dirt and mold and stuff, and they have to be cleaned. Flip. Okay, they have been used worldwide since prehistoric times. Birdhouses were something that came a little later. Before that, they were mostly used for food storage. Before ceramic technology, where people learned how to make pottery, because they are resistant to insects, they're lightweight, you can carry them, they're easily replaced because they grow like crazy, and you can also cook in them because that lining absorbs water, so if it's on a fire, it's not gonna catch on fire because it is damp enough. And this is a water jug from Africa. Flip. Okay, so these are just some examples of art type things that people have used them for. They're used for containers, birdhouses, bowls, lanterns. These are the Turkish lanterns that we made not this one in particular, but we made these a couple years ago. If you take this class next year, that's when that cycle comes back. Masks, cutout containers, that's a piece of jewelry, so even the little scraps can be shaped and made into different things. Flip. Okay, so back to our project. You are making 2 decorated birdhouses, all the way, start to finish. You get to keep whichever one of those 2 that you like, okay? The other one at Springfest is going to be given away so that somebody else can hang it and start having birds, start establishing colonies elsewhere. We need to figure out how we're going to give things away. We already have 2 big spaces to set up. And we want people to start doing this again in our area so that we get a lot of these birds that have left back. Okay, flip. And you're also going to do 2 undecorated birdhouses. So these 2 are just clean cut, they're ready to be used. One of them will be used for a community workshop during Springfest, and guess who's gonna be teaching that workshop? Not me. Yes, yes. Some of you. So as foreshadowing, after we get through most of the studio project, there's gonna be a division of teams, and we're gonna have teachers that will teach people. We're going to have starters that will be in charge of the seeds. We're giving away seeds. We're gonna grow some seedlings and give those away as well. We're going to have people that are taking care of the boards that are finished that we're giving away. And also people that will do like the environmental pamphlet and things. So this is a big project because it's super important to our area. Just like our last project was super important. And I sent all of those things out Saturday. So they're on their way. Okay. Oh, wait, go back one, Danny, I'm sorry. One's gonna be hung here at school. Part of your journal was to do what for today?
A map.
Yes, and we hiked all around school, and do we have mosquitoes here?
Yes.
Yes, cause the whole school's surrounded by what?
Water.
Water, swamps and things. So we're gonna hang one here at the school. You do not have to decorate it unless you want to or have time. And when we talk about the maps, we are going to kind of decide locations where they need to be hung. Flip. Okay, so the process that we're gonna focus on today is cleaning and cutting. So I'm gonna teach you how to clean the board, how to measure and cut the hole, getting the insides out, ventilation and hanging, and drainage. And then tomorrow we'll talk about the design. Now, the way that we're going to work this is you don't have to do all 4 boards at one time. It's because while one board is getting ready to be cleaned, you could be working on another one, you could be doing your design for it, and so on